One of the requirements of the Google Maps API Terms of Service is that you must display the open source license under which the service is provided. You can do this with a dialog or a separate activity. I'll do it in an activity. In this project named Display License, I have the Land & Hotels app, and I've added an additional activity class. It's named License Activity. There's only a little bit of code here in the onCreate method. It loads up the layout file. The layout file has a scroll view wrapped around a text view component, and the text view has an ID of legal. Now the main activity has a menu, and the menu has a single item now, which has a title of Legal Notices. And when the user selects this menu choice, I'm opening the license activity. You'll find the code for that in the main activity class also. So in order to display the text, I need to go get some text from the Google Play Services library. And I'll do that work in the license activity class as the activity comes to the screen. I'll put this code in the onCreate method. I'll create a new string variable that I'll name license text. And I'll get its value by calling a static method of the Google Play Services util class. The name of the method is getOpenSourceSoftwareLicenseInfo. It requires a context argument, and I'll pass in this. Now, depending on the user's bandwidth, this request might be a little bit slow. But I'm going to assume that we have plenty of bandwidth and I can get the text fairly quickly. If you have trouble with this, you might wrap this feature inside an async task block to execute the request asynchronously. Next, I'll get a reference to my text view object. I'll name it TV, and I'll find it by its ID, r.id.legal. As always, I'll cast the return as the appropriate widget. Now, here are the rules. If the Google Play Services APK is installed on the device, you'll get back the appropriate license text. Otherwise, you'll get back a value of null. So I'll put in a conditional block. First, I'll handle a null value, and I'll respond with a literal message of Google Play Services isn't available on this device. Now I have a couple of errors I need to deal with, and mainly I just need to make sure I've imported my toast class. But if my license text isn't null, then I'll display it using the text view object with tv.setText, and I'll pass in license text. And now I'm ready to test the app. When the app appears, I'll go to the options icon and choose Legal Notices. Notice that this activity's orientation is set to landscape, and I've made that happen myself through the manifest. I'll show you the code in a moment, but I've done that because the text comes back with hard line feeds, and in order for the user to be able to read it easily, you need a good bit of width. Because I've wrapped this text view inside a scrolling container, the user can scroll up and down and read all of the text. And when they exit the activity, the app will go back to whatever orientation the device is in. Now, here's why the activity is being displayed in an orientation of landscape. In the manifest, this is the activity declaration for my new activity. The Java class is license activity, but I've explicitly put in a screen orientation attribute and set it to landscape. Again, I'm forcing it to be displayed in this orientation, so by adding this activity to your app, you're fulfilling the responsibility to display the license terms for the Google Play Services library.